The room was silent, the air thick with tension. A young inventor stood before a panel of skeptics, his creation, a machine that promised to revolutionize communication, sparked, sputtered, and failed. Again. The year was 1877, and Thomas Edison was on the brink of bankruptcy. But what if failure wasn't the end? What if it was the spark that ignited something extraordinary? Edison didn't see failure as defeat, he saw it as data. "I have not failed," he famously declared. "I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." His relentless pursuit of the electric light bulb would eventually illuminate the world. But how did he transform failure into fortune? What separates those who crumble under pressure from those who rise from the ashes? This is the alchemy of perseverance. Picture this, a young Steve Jobs, ousted from the very company he founded, staring into the abyss of irrelevance. Yet, years later, he would return to Apple, reshaping the future of technology. Failure wasn't their downfall, it was their fuel. These stories aren't just about success, they're about the grit, the grind, and the relentless determination to turn setbacks into stepping stones. So, what does it take to bend failure to your will? How do you transform a moment of defeat into a lifetime of triumph? The answer lies not in luck, but in the art of perseverance. What if failure wasn't the end of the road, but the very foundation of success? Imagine a world where every misstep, every setback, every crushing defeat was not a tombstone, but a stepping stone. This isn't just wishful thinking, it's the heartbeat of human progress. History is littered with stories of those who stumbled, fell, and rose again, stronger than before. Failure isn't the enemy, it's the teacher, the sculptor, the alchemist that transforms raw potential into enduring greatness. Think about it. What would we know of resilience without adversity? What would we understand about courage without fear? Failure is the crucible where character is forged, where innovation is born, and where true grit is revealed. It's not about avoiding failure, it's about embracing it, learning from it, and allowing it to propel you forward. Consider the greatest minds, the most iconic leaders, the trailblazers who changed the world. Their journeys were not paved with unbroken success, but with relentless perseverance in the face of failure. Thomas Edison didn't invent the light bulb on his first try, he failed thousands of times. But each failure brought him closer to brilliance. J.K. Rowling faced rejection after rejection before Harry Potter became a global phenomenon. These stories aren't anomalies, they're blueprints. Failure isn't a dead end, it's a detour, a redirection, a chance to recalibrate and return stronger. So why do we fear it? Why do we let it define us, when it should refine us? The truth is, failure is inevitable, but so is growth if you're willing to see the opportunity in the obstacle. This isn't just about bouncing back, it's about leaping forward. It's about understanding that every failure is a lesson, every setback is set up for a comeback. The alchemy of perseverance lies in transforming failure into fortune, not by avoiding the fall, but by mastering the art of rising again. This is the core idea: failure isn't the opposite of success, it's its most powerful catalyst. Imagine standing at the edge of the Sahara Desert, centuries ago, watching caravans of traders vanish into the endless sea of sand. These were the merchants of the Silk Road, who braved blistering heat, bandits, and the unknown to connect civilizations. But what drove them? Was it greed? No. It was perseverance, the unyielding belief that the journey, no matter how perilous, was worth the risk. Their resilience forged the backbone of global trade, linking empires from China to Rome. What if failure wasn't the enemy? What if it was the very thing that could set you free? In the grand theater of life, failure isn't the final act, it's the intermission, the moment to pause, reflect, and recalibrate. Embracing failure isn't about glorifying defeat, it's about understanding that every misstep is a stepping stone, every stumble a lesson. It's the psychological safety net that allows us to take risks, to dream bigger, and to rise stronger. But how does this shift in mindset transform us? How does it rewrite the script of our lives? Failure, when embraced, becomes a mirror. It forces us to confront our limitations, our fears, and our vulnerabilities. It strips away the illusions of perfection and reveals the raw, unfiltered truth of who we are. And in that truth, there is power. The power to grow, to adapt, to evolve. Studies have shown that those who view failure as a learning opportunity develop greater resilience, creativity, and emotional intelligence. They don't just survive setbacks, they thrive in the aftermath. Consider this: every great invention, every groundbreaking discovery, every masterpiece was born from failure. Thomas Edison didn't invent the light bulb on his first try, he failed 1,000 times. But each failure brought him closer to success. It's not the absence of failure that defines greatness, it's the relentless pursuit of progress despite it. Failure is the fire that tempers the steel of our character, forging us into something stronger, something unbreakable. But here's the real question: why do we fear failure so deeply? Is it the sting of rejection? The fear of judgment? Or the paralyzing thought that we might not be good enough? The truth is, failure isn't the end, it's the beginning. It's the catalyst that propels us forward, the spark that ignites innovation. When we embrace failure, we reclaim our power. We stop seeing it as a reflection of our worth and start seeing it as a tool for growth. Failure teaches us humility, patience, and grit. It reminds us that success isn't a straight line, it's a winding road filled with detours and dead ends. And it's on that road that we discover our true strength. So, the next time you face failure, don't run from it. Lean into it. Let it be your teacher, your guide, your ally. Because in the alchemy of perseverance, failure isn't the end, it's the beginning of something extraordinary. Picture this: a storm rages, waves crash, and a ship fights to stay afloat. Now, imagine that ship refusing to adjust its course. What happens? It sinks. The same principle applies to life. Adaptability isn't just a skill, it's survival. When setbacks strike, rigidity is your worst enemy. But flexibility? That's your lifeline. History is littered with stories of those who refused to bend and paid the price. Yet, those who adapted? They thrived. How? By embracing change, not resisting it. They understood that failure isn't the end, it's a detour. And detours demand new routes. Think about it: when one door slams shut, do you stand there pounding on it, or do you look for another way in? The answer defines your journey. Adaptability isn't about abandoning your goals, it's about reshaping your path to reach them. It's about finding opportunity in chaos, strength in uncertainty, and possibility in the unexpected. Consider Thomas Edison. His quest for the electric light bulb wasn't a straight line, it was a maze of failures. But with each failure, he didn't quit. He adapted. He learned. He evolved. And in doing so, he illuminated the world. The lesson? Setbacks aren't roadblocks, they're invitations to innovate. They demand creativity, resilience, and a willingness to pivot. Adaptability is the alchemy that transforms failure into fortune. It's the quiet force that whispers, "Try again, but differently." It's the courage to let go of what isn't working and embrace what might. So, when life throws you a curveball, don't freeze. Move. Shift. Adjust. Because in the end, it's not the strongest who survive, it's the most adaptable. And that's how you turn failure into your greatest ally. Failure isn't the end, it's the spark that ignites the fire of innovation. Think about it: when everything goes according to plan, there's no need to think differently, no urgency to push boundaries. But when failure strikes, it forces us to question, to adapt, to invent. The greatest breakthroughs in history didn't come from smooth sailing, they emerged from the wreckage of what didn't work. What if Edison had stopped after his first attempt? What if the Wright brothers had given up after their first crash? Failure wasn't their enemy, it was their most relentless teacher. It demanded they dig deeper, think sharper, and dream bigger. Failure doesn't just test resilience, it rewires creativity. It's the crucible where ordinary ideas are forged into extraordinary ones. When you're backed into a corner, when the old ways no longer serve you, that's when the magic happens. That's when innovation takes flight. Consider the story of the Post-it note. What started as a failed attempt to create a super strong adhesive became one of the most iconic products of the 20th century. Failure didn't just lead to a solution, it birthed an entirely new way of thinking. It's a reminder that sometimes, the best ideas come from the places we least expect. Failure isn't a dead end, it's a detour to greatness. It forces us to abandon the beaten path and venture into uncharted territory. It's in those moments of uncertainty that we discover what we're truly capable of. When the familiar fails, we're compelled to imagine the unfamiliar. We're pushed to experiment, to iterate, to innovate. Failure is the ultimate disruptor, it shatters complacency and demands reinvention. It's the catalyst that transforms frustration into ingenuity, setbacks into breakthroughs. So, the next time you face failure, don't despair, embrace it. Because within every failure lies the seed of something extraordinary. It's not about avoiding mistakes, it's about learning from them, growing through them, and using them as fuel to create something that changes the game. Failure isn't the opposite of success, it's the foundation of it. In the bustling streets of San Francisco, amidst the hum of tech startups and venture capital whispers, there was a name that once echoed with promise, only to fade into obscurity. Meet Alex Rivera, a visionary with a dream to revolutionize the food delivery industry. His first venture, QuickBite, soared in its infancy, capturing the hearts of hungry urbanites. But beneath the surface, cracks were forming. Missteps in logistics, fierce competition, and a lack of scalability led to its downfall. The dream crumbled, and Alex found himself staring at the ashes of his ambition. What could possibly come next? How does one rise from such a catastrophic failure? Alex's story is not just about failure, it's about the alchemy of perseverance. He didn't wallow in defeat, he dissected it. Every misstep became a lesson, every setback a stepping stone. He spent months analyzing what went wrong, speaking to mentors, and immersing himself in the pain of his mistakes. It was in this crucible of self-reflection that a new idea was forged. Enter Fresh Routes, a platform that didn't just deliver food, it connected local farmers directly to consumers, cutting out the middleman and fostering sustainability. But this wasn't just a business model, it was a movement. Alex poured his heart into every detail, from the user experience to the supply chain. And yet, the ghosts of QuickBite lingered. Investors were skeptical, and the market was unforgiving. But Alex had something this time: resilience. He knew failure intimately, and it no longer scared him. Fresh Routes launched with modest beginnings, but its impact was profound. Word spread, and soon, the platform was thriving. Alex had turned his failure into fortune, not by avoiding the past, but by embracing it. His story is a testament to the power of grit, the courage to start over, and the unyielding belief that failure is not the end, it's the beginning of something extraordinary. What's your Fresh Routes? What could you create if you dared to rise from the ashes? Failure. It's a word that carries weight, a shadow that lingers long after the fall.